There we are.
That's it.
And there's no sound or film.
There is nothing.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's all there
for
is
all of
to
us
it.
who are used to,
Every morning
filling our tank, you usually can smell it and you can hear it. You can hear the guzzling sound.
Right.
None of that.
None of
so
it.
how do I know it's actually working?
It is.
It seems like every week I get blessed with a new story about minorities leaving the Democrat Party. In this case, Kamala Harris, right? For a long time, everybody said, oh, if the Democrats actually lose like 10% of the black vote, 10% of the Hispanic vote, they'll never win another election. And yet, in the course of this election cycle, Democrats have lost 20% of the black vote, and they've lost 30% of Hispanics. So it should be a runaway victory for Donald Trump. But if you trust the mainstream media polling, you might think that Kamala Harris went from being the most unlikable politician in history to being the front runner in the current presidential campaign. But either way, what we're going to see today, of course, as I mentioned, is Black women of America turning against Kamala. Let's check this out.
My name is Jasmine Woodson.
Hi, my name is Silla.
I'm Karen Watson.
I'm Yolanda Johnson from Georgia.
This is BB Diamond from New York City.
I'm Dana Galen, and I'm from Tampa, Florida.
I live in Hagerstown, Maryland.
Out here in Maricopa County.
Kalamazoo County, Michigan.
I am a proud African immigrant living in Florida.
I'm from the great state of New Jersey.
I'm Angelina from Philly, and this November, I am not voting for Kamala Harris.
I am not voting for Kamala Harris.
I'm not voting for Kamala Harris.
I am not with Kamala Harris.
I am not with her.
I'm not with her.
I am not with Kamala Harris.
I'm not with Kamala.
I am not for Kamala. I am for Donald Trump.
I am not with Kamala.
I am not with her because she is not with me.
I support President Trump and the economic policies our country experienced under his leadership as our 45th president.
President Trump will support our law enforcement agencies and fund them appropriately.
Donald Trump made me proud to be an American.
I'm with Donald J. Trump.
We need a leader who can make America great again.
Trump puts Americans first, and he always will.
We need Donald Trump.
I and millions of other Black Americans will cast my vote for Donald J. Trump.
I will proudly cast my vote for Donald J. Trump as our next president.
Let's make America great again.
So I love the hashtag I'm not with her, playing off, of course, Hillary Clinton's I'm with her whole campaign slogan from 2016. But here we have, of course, strong Black women coming out for who? For Donald Trump, because they recognize, of course, the economic and fiscal policies that made America great financially, and the foreign policy that made the world safe. So between those two factors, it is easy to see why Donald Trump has the support of basically everybody, right? As soon as they're able to see his message and juxtapose that against Kamala Harris's message. Of course, another reason for this support could be the crazy situation at the border, where the Biden-Harris administration is letting in and flying in millions of illegal immigrants every single year, okay? And where are they putting them? Not in rich, ritzy, white neighborhoods. No, they're putting them into Black neighborhoods. And guess what? A lot of the Black folk ain't loving it, okay? Because otherwise, you might get situations like this.
A group of migrants tried to board a school bus this morning while it was traveling to a school. The superintendent for the Humul del Zura Union School District informed parents of that incident earlier today. It happened at one of the stops on the school district's bus route that heads to Oak Grove Middle School and Humul Primary. Meanwhile, yesterday afternoon, in a similar area along another route, the superintendent says that a group of migrants tried to stop another bus. Border Patrol, CHP, and the Sheriff's Office have now been informed of these incidents. The superintendent says that for the safety of everyone, if a driver sees a group of migrants at a bus stop, they will drive past it and move on to the next.
So if you import people from third world countries, you're going to get third world problems where kidnapping, ransom, those are normal parts of these third world crap holes, and we're importing them into our country. And by the way, that is the speculation, right? Allegedly, that this was a plot to actually get children and then somehow get money out of people for their return. Kidnapping, ransom, these are problems from the crap hole areas of the world that are being flown into our country as if we didn't have our own problems. And by the way, that's the speculation, allegedly, that they're trying to get a hold of these children for these nefarious purposes. But of course, every person coming here is just simply a dreamer, seeking after the American goal of owning a home and a business and providing for your family. Never mind the fact the vast majority of them are single men. What the heck do we think is going on? And for more evidence of this, check out this crazy video from Colorado. This is an armed, roving migrant gang going through an apartment complex and basically terrorizing all of the residents, okay? And what happens? They're forced to abandon the apartment complex, and then the apartment complex essentially gets shut down. But do the migrant gangs care? No, they're going to use this whether the city shuts it down or not. They just want the space to operate. So, of course, this is the type of thing that Kamala Harris is directly responsible for, right? As the borders are, she was trying to find the root causes of migration. And you think we could say, oh, it's possibly the idea of people being enticed to come into our country because we're offering them a whole bunch of free stuff and we're not going to prosecute, arrest, or do anything to anybody who breaks the laws. And guess who's first in line to take advantage of all that? Criminals. But this is all squarely on the shoulders of Kamala Harris. Now, the good news about all this is that now it looks like Kamala Harris's honeymoon period with the DNC and her bounce is now officially over.
The negativity does not play. The public is just frustrated with it. It's had enough of it. And when you compare the two candidates side by side on personality, Kamala Harris beats Donald Trump overwhelmingly. But when you compare them on inflation, when you compare them, which is really affordability, when you compare them on immigration, which is really security and safety and a sense of not being afraid in the country, when you compare them on those two issues, which matter more to the voters than anything else, that's where Trump does well. And I want to emphasize this to every viewer who thinks I'm anti-Trump or anti-Harris. If you talk about things that voters don't care about, they're not going to vote for you. His advertising is exceptional. It's very explicit and very clear. But in terms of he himself, he's all over the map, and he deserves the fact that he's been falling. But again, I have to give you one caveat, and then I'll be quiet. He's actually stopped falling. Even though they had a pretty strong convention last week, it looks like the Harris boomlet has reached its peak, with her having roughly a 3-point advantage. I remind you that that was the advantage that Hillary Clinton had over Donald Trump on Election Day 2016, and he still beat her in the Electoral College. This election is way too close to call.
So on the issues, Donald Trump beats Kamala Harris hands down. This is Frank Luntz admitting as much. Even though he's out there believing a lot of these polls that show Kamala Harris up right now, he does have to admit that on aggregate, Kamala Harris is only up by 3 points. And guess who else was? Hillary Clinton. So if you want to beat Donald Trump, remember that he underpolls by at least 5. And in some of those crazy, wacky polls from 2020 and 2016, had Donald Trump underperformed by about 8 points. So all the craziness that is going on, keep that in mind, okay? Kamala Harris's honeymoon is over, right? She has solidified at her highest point, and she's only going to go down from here because most Americans actually don't know what her policies are, and they're going to start to see the ads come out. Trump is running, as Luntz said, a very effective ad campaign. If you have seen any of those commercials, they are powerful, showing Kamala Harris's flip-flops, showing Kamala Harris's previous stances, and as soon as the American people see all of that, that's when they're going to start turning against Kamala Harris. Of course, it has to happen quickly because the election is so soon. So September 10th can't come fast enough. We have to have a good performance from Donald Trump on that debate stage, which will lead hopefully to another Biden-esque moment. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and stay safe out there, people, because they're coming after you.